What comes to mind when you hear about the gangster era? Maybe you're thinking about Al Capone or the St. Valentine's Day Massacre. How about some lesser-known facts about this infamous time period? Here are 9 things you might not know about America's Prohibition-era underworld. Number 1. Below is a deeper dive into each of the surprising highlights from America's Prohibition-era underworld, with added context drawn from FBI records and historical analysis. Number 2. Fragmented gang networks in Chicago. By the mid-1920s, Chicago hosted roughly 1,300 independent bootlegging crews, each vying for turf. These gangs, largely made up of recent immigrants and marginalized ethnic groups, formed shifting alliances along ethnic and neighborhood lines. Many developed rudimentary intelligence operations using lookouts with telephone relays to outmaneuver rivals and law enforcement. Bootlegging profits were often laundered through ostensibly legitimate enterprises like breweries, trucking companies, and speakeasy front operations, blurring the line between crime and commerce. Number 3. National surge in murders. Gangland violence exploded nationwide. In 1926, over 12,000 homicides were recorded, a figure that eclipsed combat fatalities in many post-World War I conflicts. The rise of the submachine gun, or Tommy gun, transformed ambush tactics, enabling drive-by shootings and night raids that overwhelmed under-equipped local police. This surge in violence and deaths across state lines forced the Bureau of Investigation to coordinate informally with local and state law enforcement, laying groundwork for later multi-state task forces. Number 4. Birth of the FBI Laboratory. Officially inaugurated on November 24, 1932, the FBI lab emerged from ad hoc forensic efforts dating back to the early 1920s. At that time, agents struggled to process fingerprint and ballistics evidence. Its first major success came in 1934 when it linked shell casings from the Kansas City Massacre to weapons used by Pretty Boy Floyd's gang, cementing the value of scientific forensics. The lab's formation also spurred standardized training for field agents in evidence collection, a critical leap toward modern policing. Number 5. Innovative use of tax laws against Capone. Alphonse "Scarface" Capone evaded the law for years through bribery and intimidation. But federal agents uncovered ledgers showing millions in undeclared income. In 1931, a joint operation between the Bureau of Investigation and the Bureau of Prohibition applied income tax statutes, an unprecedented move against organized crime, to secure his conviction. Capone's 11-year prison sentence demonstrated the strategic power of financial investigation even when direct evidence of violent crime proved elusive. Number 6. The Urschel Kidnapping and Machine Gun Kelly. In July 1933, oil executive Charles Urschel was abducted for a $200,000 ransom. Undercover FBI agent Machine Gun Kelly, George Barnes, and his associates. The case, which went all the way to the Supreme Court, resulted in the first convictions for interstate kidnapping. Number 7. The Barker-Karpis Gang's Long Shadow. Active from 1933 to 1936, the Barker-Karpis Gang pulled off high-profile kidnappings of William Hamm and Edward Bremer Jr., netting over $350,000 in ransoms. FBI files tracked the gang's movements and safe houses across 5 states. Because Alvin "Creepy" Karpis lived into the late 1970s, surveillance logs pertaining to this gang extend for decades. Their exploits prompted the Bureau to centralize fugitive tracking and establish the 10 Most Wanted list as a public manhunt tool in later years. Number 8. Meyer Lansky's Transnational Syndicate. Known as the mob's accountant, Meyer Lansky engineered gambling networks in Miami, Havana, and Las Vegas, reinvesting bootleg profits into casinos and hotels. FBI records reveal surveillance of Lansky lasting into the 1970s, monitoring his dealings with Cuban officials before Castro's revolution and tracing money flows through Swiss bank accounts. Lansky's model of syndicate cooperation among disparate crime families prefigured modern global organized crime networks. And number 9. Hoover's early professionalization push. When J. Edgar Hoover became director in 1924 at age 29, he immediately instituted a strict code of conduct, weeding out political hacks and mandating regular inspections of every field office. He championed scientific methods, fingerprinting, forensic chemistry, even early lie detector tests to transform the Bureau from a loosely managed agency into a national investigative force. Hoover also established the first Bureau Training Academy, the forerunner of today's FBI Academy, standardizing investigative and courtroom testimony practices. Do you know any obscure history facts about the gangster era? Share with us in the comments below.